illustrations such as the client's budget, the schedule. Well, our schedule is pretty tight. We have 5 weeks to work on Project B. And, as far as uses of color, perhaps there are color preferences that our client likes, or maybe the client already has brand colors that we have to work within, their color schemes, their approved color schemes. Maybe they have photography styles, illustration styles that they prefer, etc. So as far as budget, do you want to say anything? And this isn't a budget for this job specifically, but as we can make things expensive for you,
yes,
and just do fantasy, and then you can, as you said, you can take what we've done and you can kind of work it out so that you get what you want reasonably. What do you want to say about your budget for what you want us to do?
I think I'd like you to be creative there. However, if you do look at packaging, look at eco-friendly packaging that's already designed, because I'm not looking to do CAD models and bottling and changing up shapes, and don't get out there like that. There's a great packaging show called Lux Pack. It's a luxurious packaging show, and sometimes on their website for Lux Pack, if you go to like the one that was in New York in the spring, you can see the list of vendors that were showing at the show, and you can go onto their websites and look at what kind of packaging samples are available. So that kind of helps you to look for or to know where to go, because if you just put in cosmetic packaging styles, I mean, you can look at all kinds of different things, but some of that might not be real out there, And then if you look at like on what are the clip art, photos that are out there, and start looking down that direction, you can sometimes find some things that are okay, but some of them look really cheap, and they're really, they're just,
Yeah, what I'd like to do as far as packaging is try to get sample bottles of things you like, and then we'll photograph that, send that out to the teams on ground and online, and then they'll be able to see, especially the on-ground team, you guys, because you're doing the packaging more, and my online class is doing more of the marketing. So having those photos that are approved with, that are not too expensive, but still have the, aspects that you like about the design.
all right. I'll do my best to get you some packaging samples.
Great. Now we know that the schedule, we're going to finish at the end of the quarter, which is November 14th for us. As far as ads, etc., just use common sense. U.S. standard sizes, expectations, for any media that you're using. And then if we have clients, if we have questions, we can always ask our client, Beth, and she can give us an answer there.
I can give you my email address now.
That'll be great.
It's just bclose, C-L-O-S-E, @me.com.
I was going to ask you, how do you spell Lux Pack?
L-U-X.
Okay. So I was thinking, is it L-U-X-P-A-K or L-U-X-P-A-C?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but you know what? I'll send you the link,
Okay.
and then you can send that on.
Right.
Or if I can find it right now, real quick, I'll give it to you now.
Okay, well, we're going to move on.
I know,
and
like,
we
I
can
can
get
answer
back.
questions. I can do two things at once.
Okay, great, cool. All right. You had noted that you would like to use essentially a biblical chapter verse. It is not John 3:16. That's what I just thought of off the top of my head, because I was essentially like, everybody knows that. You can see the football players and other people using that. But what is your chapter and verse that you would like to put on the bottom? Now, we're not writing out the entire scripture. We just want to put the name of the chapter and then the number of the verse, right?
It's Philippians 4:13.
Okay.
And some idea that I had, I don't know, you guys might not remember anything like this, but I'm sure something else is similar. But there used to be in the New York Times a artist that would draw pictures, and then he would have the name Nina in these pictures. And so you would kind of like look for how many times you'd see Nina, and it was his daughter's name. But you'd have to find them in the picture, and I'm sure you've seen things like this before. Somewhere in this brand, however you put it together, I'm looking to have somewhere this Philippians 4:13, you know, and the whole word Philippians doesn't have to be spelled out, it can be abbreviated. But it would just, I just wanted in there somewhere.
And what is the verse, Philippians 4:13?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And LuxPack is spelled Lux and then PACK. You should be able to find it if you just type it. But it's LUXE. PACK.
I have a question about the Bible verse. Would you mind if we didn't just say like Philippians 4:13, or if we took the verse and maybe modernized it, changed it up so it's still pretty much the verse, but a little like not so religious, I guess. It
Yeah.
would be more broad.
Yep,
Okay.
that's great. However you see it.
I also have a question, or sort of statement. I feel like since this is global, that it's going to limit a lot of your consumers that are
That's why I
not
want
Christian.
it there, but I want it not there.
Okay.
So we're not supposed to make it super prominent.
I want it very, and it could be minutely microscopic somewhere on there, but I just want it there.
Okay.
So it's not, because I do, globally, you're right, it will definitely cause, you know, an issue. And I'm not looking to offend anybody, but it's my belief. And so therefore, I'm looking to incorporate my beliefs somewhere in my brand, but I'm not necessarily advertising my belief in the sense that it's gonna offend somebody else. So, you know, I just want it, I want it there for now.
I think you're bringing up good points, because one day somebody's going to say, "What is that?" Beth, explain it. And so she's going to have to be prepared with,
Right.
sharing her belief. Yeah,
Right.
but that's not something you want to put in people's faces necessarily, right?
Right. And so, you know, it could be, but that's like I was saying, like that whole Nina thing, you know, it's like if you look back at any of these artist drawings, you know, it's like the hair is all wispy or whatever, and you can see this like crazy writing of, you know, and you know, you'd see it, but you really just see hair streaks, you know, you're not looking like seeing it. So that's my idea behind it.
So that's an interesting creative challenge.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
That's
And if
good.
it doesn't work into it, you know, it's just in my ideas today, you know, I might look at it and go, maybe I don't want to do that, you know, so, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, let's just give it a go and see what we can do with it.
I was just thinking, since all that, like the recent, Chick-fil-A stuff like that, just
You're
be
right.
prepared, that people will research, even if it's hidden,
You're
and
right.
know that you support that, and they won't want to support you, kind of thing.
You're right, you're very right, and, you know, that's part of that whole, you know, is that really what, you know, how I want to market right away, but I think that I want to take that chance. So, it's one of those, yeah, it's a good point, very good point, very, very well thought, trust me.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're also going to have discovery size bottles, just like, essentially, somewhat like these, okay? And you guys can see the statement there. It says that Beth wishes for the discovery sizes to be like opening an Apple product. Right? For us, it is kind of like Christmas, right? We don't just rip it open. We kind of take our time because there's something special about it. And it would be fun for you guys to come up with. I mean, this is nice, right? It's inexpensive, but it feels special. So if you guys have other ways of showing that, that would be great. And if you have other ideas to package these sample sizes. So if you're in maybe a Sephora or an Ulta, you could even be selling these on the shelf so that people will give it a try without spending a lot of money.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought behind it.
So it's going to be the bundle and not individual?
These, when we put together the discovery sizes, I want to be able to have the consumer be able to discover whether they like this or not. I don't want you to feel like you have to buy an $8 bottle of lotion and then go, I hate this stuff.
So they can like buy the sample pack for like $20 total and see what they like out of each, and then buy the larger bottles of what they like.
Exactly.
Because with a sample pack, have to have all the different varieties of north, south, east, west.
It might be just like your north, your south, your east, your west, so, you know, you'd pick what region you're in. And that's another good point, like, even in sales or marketing this to, like, sell to Sephora or Ulta or somebody, you know, on a shelf, you know, are they going to only put their region, you know, in that area? Or would they keep some of my other products as well?
From what it sounds like, if you wanted to go big with it, you could have a huge variety just on your basic ideas.
You're right, yeah, you're right.
That's
So,
good though, like,
yeah.
And then a company will say, well, like, we only sell like north and south, south more than east and west, so then they can choose the quantity of
Yeah.
what they purchase.
Exactly.
Yeah. And maybe one thing within the marketing would be the idea that if there's something you want that's not here, go to the website. You know, always take them back to the website so that they can get something that, you know.
Yeah, somewhere in the marketing, because I can tell you, you know, your big boxes aren't gonna like that. You know, they don't want them to leave the store and go to the website, right? They want you to come into the store.
Well, maybe like the store could help you order it online.
Mm-hmm.
And do like a ship to store thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be like you go into, you know, the Sephora here in Savannah and you have east, but you're just visiting, you would go north. You really want it, and then they could maybe order it from the store and ship it.
Great idea, yeah. Good.
All right, so we're not going to worry about distribution of our marketing pieces right now. We may discuss that within our deliverables, and the distribution could be the idea of media distribution, whether it's newspaper, you know, the size of the ad, how many times it's going to be placed. Is it going to be just the Savannah Morning News, or papers all over the United States? You know, that's where we get into some of those marketing questions. But for us, we're not going to get overly worried about that at the moment. The most important point that you had made in our initial meeting was that it would, actually, we didn't really go over this, I guess, because I'm looking at my notes here. If we were going to include descriptors, and of course we have 4 different product lines, but if we wanted to say environment, what is important? Because we're going to use these in the mood boards, right? If we want to say that environment is modern, upscale, and fresh, or we've heard different catch words as we've had this discussion. Do you have anything to say about the most important point of this brand?
I think that it's environmentally friendly, that it has, that I definitely want it to feel that global feeling of universal, global, you know, and that it's a healthy brand that, so, you know, I don't know if my adjectives are great, you know, modern, upscale, and fresh, but, you know, it's like, you know, I think there needs to be some funky something to that also, you know, that it just kind of gives it that pulse, but yet, at the same time, and I don't want it to seem so granola earthy that it doesn't, like, hit that upscale person. You know, there's got to be a balance. There's got to be that harmony between it all that kind of,
maybe too pretentious.
yeah, I don't want it to be too pretentious, but I don't want it to be too health food story. I don't want it to be, there's this perfect balance. There's a harmony in this environment that I need you to find for me.
And that's what we're going to be doing with the mood boards for you guys next class, not online. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and cut. I think we're